For more than 2 decades, audiences have seen the Brown family live a life few could have ever dreamed of: plural marriage, large properties, and the ever-present balancing act of multiple households. On television, the drama was never ending. We saw arguments, makeup, tears, and times of laughter. But as anyone keeping tabs on this family can attest, the most unexpected things seldom occur on tape. They occur behind closed doors, in boardrooms, in court documents, and occasionally in a single pivotal action that rearranges everything. Meri Brown was the quiet powerhouse of the family. Perceived by most as the matriarch's anchor, she weathered years of fiscal stress, interpersonal drama, and the constant glare of reality television. Cody and Robyn appeared to be in charge for years, making the decisions on who received what, managing the family money, and determining the public perception of a family functioning like a team. But things have come apart lately to expose cracks in the prettied-up image. It began with rumor from people who work behind the scenes with sister wives. Anonymous sources hinted at Meri making a move, one that could not only change her life, but could also shake the entire foundation of Kody and Robyn's control. We're not talking about a casual decision, a fleeting whim, or a minor financial maneuver. This is a calculated, deliberate step that could rewrite the story of the Brown family for years to come. Imagine living in a world where your every move is scrutinized, every conversation possibly filmed, every family conflict dissected for ratings. And yet, even in that environment, Meri found a path to reclaim autonomy. Sources indicate that she began quietly consolidating her own financial resources that had long been entangled with Kody's narrative of scarcity and control. Documents suggest that Meri's new plan is not just about her own freedom, but also about redefining her place in the family hierarchy. Behind the cameras, Kody has always portrayed himself as the pillar of stability. He is the patriarch, the decision maker, the one who is supposed to provide financially for the family. Robyn, on the other hand, has long been the recipient of Kody's favoritism, receiving privileges and resources that the other wives were not given. What happens, though, when one of the original wives grows tired of waiting for table scraps and starts to make her own way? The balance of power begins to shift in ways no one anticipated. Our insiders reveal that Meri's move is both strategic and public-facing. She is not simply retreating from the drama. She is using the visibility of the sister wives' platform to assert control. Every social media post, every interview, every subtle action sends a signal. Meri is no longer content to play a secondary role in her own life. And for Kody and Robyn, this is more than inconvenient. It's threatening. The first signs of tension appeared when Meri reportedly engaged in discussions about property, investments, and independent ventures without consulting Kody. In a family where decisions were traditionally filtered through his approval, this was a seismic shift. Sources suggest that for the first time in years, Meri's voice is not only being heard but commanding attention. And as anyone who knows the Browns understands, attention equals influence. Stay with us, because what follows is a story that's still unfolding. A story of money, influence, and the quiet yet unstoppable power of a woman determined to reclaim her life. By the end of this report, you'll get to see how one step by Meri Brown can cause a ripple effect on every area of Kody and Robyn's well-built life. To ensure you don't miss a single update, tap that subscribe button and activate notifications. All revelations, all insider leaks, and all courtroom twists will be brought to you here. And you can bet that you won't want to miss what comes next. Backstage on Sister Wives, the biggest stories tend to begin with money, and Meri Brown's recent actions are no exception. Sources within the family say that she has quietly moved to reclaim management of her own money, initiating a series of actions that will upset the financial equilibrium Kody and Robyn have enjoyed for so long. For years, the Brown family had a centralized financial system. Kody controlled big investments, property choices, and the dispersal of family money. Robyn, as the newest and preferred wife, tended to reap the rewards of that situation, including access to the best properties and discretionary funds. Meanwhile, Meri, along with the other older wives, tended to have her resources cut back and her independence curtailed. But all of that is changing. Insider rumors reveal that Meri has been going over family assets, financial records, and property deeds with her lawyers. She is not merely asking for loose information. She is setting the stage for legal and financial autonomy. One of the strongest moves Meri has made is the creation of independent investment accounts, in contrast to the joint accounts that have traditionally been controlled by Cody in the past. These accounts are solely in her name. Insiders indicate these accounts hold a mix of her individual savings, money from past settlements, and calculated investments meant to provide passive income. This step in itself heralds a significant change in her authority in the family. But that isn't the end of it. Meri is said to be seeking legal recourse to make her financial autonomy official. Though the family's plural marriage setup makes things more complicated, attorneys who are knowledgeable about the case indicate there are valid methods for Meri to safeguard her assets, even within a high-conflict family environment. In the meantime, Cody and Robin are beginning to feel the change. Observers within the family comment on subtle shifts in household dynamics. Discussions once dominated by Cody now involve Meri establishing her point of view. Conversations about money, property, and family decisions are being challenged. And where previously Robin may have assumed automatic influence, she is now forced to negotiate or risk being sidelined. This is where tension escalates. Cody, who has always valued control, reportedly sees Meri's moves as a direct threat. Robin, meanwhile, is experiencing for the first time what it's like to have her assumed power questioned. Sources say the tension is visible even during off-camera interactions. Arguments over property rights, allocation of funds, and control over family narratives have become more frequent and more heated. What makes Meri's strategy particularly effective is her ability to operate quietly yet decisively. She doesn't need to make dramatic announcements or public statements to signal her intentions. Each financial document she acquires, each independent account she establishes, and each legal counsel she seeks sends a definitive message. She is taking back the reins of her life. And Cody and Robyn cannot do anything about it. Meri Brown's new monetary actions are now beginning to cause ripples through the family's real estate empire. For years, Cody and Robyn maintained tight control over key family assets, from the sprawling Coyote Pass Ranch to smaller investment properties in surrounding towns. These properties were not just homes, they were symbols of power, wealth, and influence within the Brown household. But insiders reveal that Meri's growing independence is now challenging this status quo. She has begun asserting claims to specific properties that were previously under Cody's sole management. Though legally intricate, her plan is careful. She is recording her investments, pointing out past agreements, and filing formal demands for acknowledgement of her rights. That is not simply about money. It is about power. By asserting her interest in these homes, Meri is challenging the dominance Cody and Robyn have depended upon for so long. Where Robyn used to take over automatically on new acquisitions or renovations, she now has to negotiate with Meri, or face being legally challenged. Early this month, the tension finally boiled over at one of the private meetings. What was a once normal discussion now descended into an argument. Cody is said to struggle to remain impartial, sandwiched between aggressive acts from his first wife and pressure from his current lover. Observers note that even minor disagreements over property decisions have turned into high-stakes conflicts that could easily spill into public view. Meanwhile, Meri's careful documentation is creating pressure behind the scenes. Lawyers working with her emphasize that any misstep by Cody or Robyn in ignoring her claims could strengthen her legal standing. Every deed, every financial record, and every documented contribution becomes a tool in her arsenal, gradually tipping the balance of power. Robyn, who is accustomed to wielding influence through proximity to Cody, is reportedly frustrated. Sources indicate that she sees Meri's moves as a personal challenge, and tensions between the two women are escalating quietly yet steadily. Even the children are reportedly sensing the shift, observing their mothers and Meri's increasing independence, and the occasional disputes that arise during family gatherings. Meanwhile, Cody's position is precarious. The patriarch's authority is being questioned not only by Meri, but also by other family members who see the potential for a more balanced distribution of control. As one observer points out, Cody has always been the decision-maker, but Meri is showing that she doesn't require his permission to exert her power. The stakes are high, with every property battle, every financial move, and every strategic play made by Meri. It is announcing a sea change within the Brown family. And as the cameras keep up with the family, viewers are bound to see some of the most dramatic showdowns in sister wives history. ones that can forever alter relationships, and power structures. And while Meri Brown's calculated maneuvers are rocking the family budget, the emotional aftershocks are equally intense. Relationships which seemed predictable and stable are now in the spotlight, and each of the Brown family members has to tread new ground. Meri herself gives an air of calmness, but sources close to her suggest that underneath lies a measured and highly emotional reaction. Having spent years being bypassed on matters of decision-making, she is taking charge in a manner which reinforces both her power and her autonomy. Friends close to her indicate she has become more assertive, more outspoken, and less inclined to accept decisions that reduce her role in the family. Cody himself is apparently struggling to keep up his normal patriarchal grip. Being the de facto head of the family, he has had a long history of settling arguments and handling assets. Now that Meri is making a stand on her own, he must navigate between his need to be fair and his need to hold power. Family sources say that Cody has been talking quietly of frustration, bemoaning the equilibrium of control feeling off, and that he doesn't know how to react without causing disagreements to escalate further. Robyn's response has been especially stinging. Used to being Cody's primary partner in recent years, she reportedly views Meri's assertiveness as a threat to her standing. Friends and insiders describe tension-filled interactions between the two women, ranging from pointed conversations to subtle power plays during family gatherings. Robyn's frustration appears to stem not only from financial concerns, but also from perceived challenges to her influence and status within the household. Meanwhile, the other wives are watching closely. Christine, Janelle, and the newer members of the family reportedly see Meri's moves as a sign of potential empowerment for all wives, particularly those who feel overlooked. Some suggest that Meri's assertiveness could set a precedent, encouraging other wives to claim more agency in decisions that affect the family's assets, schedules, and public image. The children, too, are affected. Observers note that even minor disputes over property or finances are not lost on them. They are reportedly witnessing a shift in family dynamics, where traditional roles are being questioned and alliances may be shifting. The insiders indicate that some of the kids are coming to view Meri as an independence and assertiveness model, while others are perplexed by the fresh tension between their mom and Robyn. All this self-consequential fallout provides the background for a dramatic and tense storyline. As things transpire, it is apparent that the stakes are not merely economic, but highly personal. The drama as it unfurls is a combination of strategic maneuvering, emotional strength, and the quest for respect and validation in a family long used to rigid hierarchies. Meri Brown isn't merely stirring up emotions, she is also seeking to have her place legally acknowledged. Sources indicate that she has been consulting closely with legal advisors to explore every avenue that could protect her interests, particularly regarding family assets and financial distributions. While the details remain confidential, insiders reveal that Meri's legal team is focusing on key documents and contracts that could strengthen her position. These include previously overlooked agreements, financial statements, and records of family property allocations. Through close examination of these documents, Meri is establishing a case that can hopefully change control over some assets or award her financial compensation she believes is due to her. Cody and Robyn, based on various reports, are now under legal pressure they had not envisioned. They apparently assumed that the internal ranks within the family would go unchallenged, and that traditional dominance would protect them from any disquieting action. Meri's legal strategy, however, is not only thorough but also timed to maximize impact. Friends close to the family suggest that the timing of her actions has caught Cody and Robyn off guard, amplifying their stress and forcing reactive decisions. Legal experts who have observed similar high-profile family cases note that Meri's approach demonstrates both foresight and patience. Rather than leaping into brawls, she is proceeding with careful steps to collect documentation, build documentation, and develop leverage. The end result is a subtle yet strong enforcement of her rights that might have a lasting effect on the family's relational and financial stability. The risks are high. Witnesses note that any involvement of the courts can create future precedents for how the family resolves internal conflicts. For Cody, this represents not just a challenge to his authority, but also a potential recalibration of his role in managing family assets. For Robyn, it's a wake-up call that her partnership with Cody may not be sufficient to secure her. Position in all matters. Meri's calculated legal maneuvers also underscore a broader shift in her personal narrative. Once cast largely as the subordinate wife, she now comes into her own with a mix of brains, scheme, and strategic timing. Inhabitants and viewers alike are remarking on the change. A woman who for years has felt second to others is now becoming a force that can shape family arrangements and monetary fortunes. The news of Meri Brown's latest actions quickly traveled throughout social media sites, raising a storm of opinions from fans, detractors, and even occasional viewers. Tweets, posts, and fan videos erupted virtually overnight, with thousands posting about the developing family drama. Meri has received praise from many fans for standing up at last, hailing her as fearless and a long-overdue voice of reason in the family. Comments laud her smarts and strategic mind, with fans lauding the manner in which she is maneuvering years of nuanced family politics. For these fans, Meri is the epitome of patience and strategy over conventional hierarchies long established that have treated Cody and Robyn so well. Others are more critical, with some questioning her motives, and whether or not these actions are strictly strategic or driven by personal resentments. They argue that while Meri's actions are bold, the ripple effects on the family's unity could be damaging. Social media is buzzing with debates, dividing fans into factions, those cheering Meri's rise, and those defending Cody and Robyn's authority. The surge in online activity has also caught the attention of media outlets, covering reality television and family legal battles. Headlines highlight the growing tension, emphasizing how Meri's moves are shaking the foundation of the Brown family. Clips of past episodes are being reanalyzed by fans to look for hints of Meri's long-term planning, sparking renewed discussions about past disputes and unresolved issues. Influencers and fan commentators are dissecting her every step, predicting how this will influence future episodes and family interactions. Some speculate that Meri's assertiveness could lead to further court involvement, while others believe it might force Cody and Robyn to reconsider their strategy and perhaps seek reconciliation or compromise. This social media storm has created an interesting dynamic. Public opinion is now an external factor that adds pressure to the family's internal decisions. The visibility of fan reactions and media coverage is amplifying the stakes, making each move more consequential. For Cody and Robyn, it's no longer just about private family decisions. It's about how the public perceives them, which can impact future opportunities, sponsorships, and their overall reputation in the reality television world. Meri's newfound visibility online underscores a transformation in her narrative. She is no longer just part of the family story. She is actively shaping it. Her actions are sparking conversations, forcing long-suppressed tensions into the open, and demonstrating that even in a highly publicized and scrutinized family dynamic, one member can alter the trajectory with well-planned, assertive moves. While fans and media buzz about Meri's bold moves, Cody and Robyn are not staying idle. Behind closed doors, the couple is grappling with the sudden shift in family dynamics. Sources close to the family suggest that Cody has been particularly unsettled by Meri's assertiveness, struggling to maintain his authority while facing increasing scrutiny both internally and publicly. Robyn, on the other hand, is reportedly attempting a more calculated approach. Behind closed doors, she has been re-examining family budgets, property contracts, and previous choices, looking for means to take control of scenarios that have been upended by Meri. Her attentiveness to detail is evidence that she understands all too well the possibility that one small error could undermine her position, not only with Cody, but with the other wives and the general public as well. The drama between Cody and Meri comes to a boiling point. While Cody has historically relied on his leadership position to steer family decisions, Meri's recent actions have disrupted that balance. According to insiders, Cody has been seen holding late-night discussions with advisors, trying to anticipate Meri's next steps. There's a mix of frustration and urgency in his strategy. He knows that the longer this situation continues, the more difficult it will be to regain control. Robyn's frustration stems from both the public embarrassment and the private stress this situation has caused. She reportedly feels that Meri's assertiveness undermines her influence within the family, and the thought of losing any leverage is unsettling. Discussions between Cody and Robyn have become increasingly strategic as they attempt to present a united front while internally managing the growing cracks in their authority. Meanwhile, the other wives are quietly observing the situation, weighing how Meri's moves might impact their own positions. Some are sympathetic to Meri, while others are cautiously aligning with Kody and Robyn to maintain stability. This delicate dance of alliances adds another layer of complexity to an already tense family dynamic. As the situation evolves, one thing is clear. Meri's assertiveness has forced Kody and Robyn to reassess their approach entirely. Every decision, from financial moves to public appearances, is now scrutinized with the knowledge that the family and the public are watching. The stakes have never been higher, and the risk of unforeseen results is higher than ever. Meri Brown has never been one to quietly sit by and accept the status quo, and her most recent move is no exception. Sources confirm that she has made a move so drastic it is leaving Kody and Robyn reaching for answers. This is not a small personal adjustment. It is a deliberate plan aimed at rebalancing power in the family, and it has significant repercussions for money, assets, and public opinion. Those close to the family say Meri has been quietly making friends with influential players who can sway family decisions, such as advisors, lawyers, and even some of the other wives. By consolidating support behind her, she ensures that her voice carries more weight than ever before. This is a significant departure from her past approach, which was often more reserved and reactive. One of the most shocking aspects of Meri's move is its timing. She waited until a critical moment when Kody and Robyn were focused on other issues, giving her the perfect window to make her statement. In so doing, she not only displays strategic vision but also quietly subverts Kody's authority, indicating that she can function on her own and competently. The ripple effects are already evident. Kody is said to be frustrated and preoccupied, trying to regain control but discovering that the dynamics have changed. Robyn, meanwhile, is adjusting her tactics, recognizing that Meri's influence could disrupt previously secure positions within the family structure. Fans have reacted strongly to Meri's action. Social media platforms are buzzing with speculation about what this could mean for the family's future. Some viewers praise Meri for finally standing up and asserting herself, while others are concerned about the growing tension and potential fallout. Either way, it's clear that the landscape of the family is changing, and everyone involved must adapt quickly. Legal experts and family insiders suggest that Meri's move could have long-term implications, particularly regarding property ownership, financial arrangements, and decision-making authority. While Kody and Robyn are attempting to contain the situation, the momentum appears to be on Meri's side. As the family braces for the next chapter, one thing is certain: Meri's bold move has sent a clear message. She is no longer willing to be sidelined, and Kody and Robyn must reconsider how they navigate the shifting dynamics. The aftermath of Meri Brown's bold move is hitting the family hard. Sources from the Brown family indicate that the tensions have never been higher, and Kody was visibly under a lot of stress, while Robyn was struggling to hold on to any power. The power balance that had once appeared stable is now entirely reversed, and all decisions are intensely questioned. Kody, who has traditionally had a lot of control over the family's decisions, is now also receiving unexpected pushback. Friends of the family describe him as frustrated and at times uncharacteristically reactive, showing signs of vulnerability that few have witnessed before. Every move he makes is now being countered or questioned, and it's clear that Meri's actions have shifted the internal hierarchy. Robyn, often seen as Kody's closest ally in family matters, is having to recalibrate. She is reportedly worried about the implications of Meri's newfound assertiveness on property decisions and financial arrangements, as well as public perception. Insiders suggest that Robyn is attempting to form alliances of her own, but the cracks in the family structure are widening, and her influence may not be enough to regain control. The other wives are also reacting in different ways. Some are quietly supportive of Meri's move, seeing it as a long-overdue assertion of agency, while others are cautious, unsure of how this power shift will affect their own standing. It's a delicate balancing act, with emotions running high and past grievances resurfacing. Social media has amplified the drama. Fans are dissecting every detail, from body language in family photos to subtle comments in interviews. The news of the case is unfolding on social media, with furious arguments over who is right and who is falling out of favor. Public opinion is serving as a judge, and it is apparent that the family's internal choices are now subject to international scrutiny. Legal analysts caution that the backlash could spill beyond family disputes. There can be long-term effects on financial resolutions, ownership of property, and decision-making powers. Experts say that whenever one member claims autonomy within such a prominent family, the repercussions are complicated and extensive. As the Browns ride out this tempest, this much is certain: the family is entering a new era of tension and uncertainty. Every move, every utterance is now amplified, and Cody and Robin are required to pick up the pace to prevent more disruption. The controversy from Meri Brown's dramatic step isn't just limited to the family house. It is now unfolding on social media, forums, and fan sites. Every action, every word is being analyzed, and the fans are quick to offer their opinions. The show has sparked passionate arguments, with the fan base divided into distinct camps. Some fans are praising Meri for standing up at long last. They praise her strength in standing up to Kody and Robyn's power, viewing it as a much-needed statement of independence. Comments read like battle cries: "Meri finally shows she is not backing down," or "It is about time someone rocked the boat in that house." Supporters are even calling her move a game changer for future dynamics, suggesting that other wives might follow her example. On the other hand, some viewers side with Kody and Robyn, criticizing Meri's approach as disruptive and potentially damaging to the family unit. These fans worry about how the internal discord could affect the children and the overall household harmony. They argue that challenges to Kody's authority, while dramatic, may have unintended consequences. Fan reactions aren't limited to commentary. They're influencing the conversation around the show itself. Memes, reaction videos, and TikToks have proliferated, turning Meri's move into a viral talking point. The ratings are through the roof, demonstrating that drama pays, and here the tale has appealed to both occasional watchers and hardcore enthusiasts. The media is also aware of the news. Entertainment media is covering the tensions, presenting Meri as a strong, independent woman pushing boundaries. Headlines are all about conflict and surprise, fueling further attention and speculation only. Hence, for the Browns, this public focus is an additional burden. The overreactions of the fans are not mere water-cooler talk. They can affect the story of the show, the editing decisions, and even the contract negotiations. Being in the public eye means that every move is magnified, where mistakes are more expensive and plays more deliberate. As debate rages on the internet, sources tell us that Kody and Robyn see the attention and the changing fan opinion. They are said to be rethinking their strategy, attempting to take back the narrative while handling the very real power of public perception. As the dust settles from the first move by Meri, it is apparent that this was merely the first step in a broader strategy. From sources within the family, it is made known that Meri has been secretly rallying support from key supporters in the home. She is not just holding her ground but mounting moves aimed at altering the power balance. An insider observes that Meri has begun to record cases of money indecision, making malpractices, leaving a trail that would have significant implications. She is meticulous, making sure that she is covered by evidence and not just allegations. This strategic approach sets her apart from previous confrontations, signaling that she's prepared for the long game. Kody and Robyn, meanwhile, are reportedly blindsided. While they anticipated some form of pushback, Meri's level of preparation and the clarity of her strategy catches them off guard. For the first time, Kody is facing challenges not just from one of his wives, but from a wife who knows how to leverage both internal family rules and public perception. Meri's next step involves engaging the children in subtle ways, ensuring they understand that fairness and accountability are paramount. Observers note that this isn't about turning the children against their father. It's about teaching them resilience and the importance of speaking up when something feels unjust. Social media continues to amplify Meri's moves. Fans are dissecting every post, comment, and appearance, speculating about what her next action will be. The narrative is shifting, with many supporters framing Meri as the underdog rising against entrenched authority. Her measured yet bold actions earn her credibility and admiration, even among those who previously sided with Kody and Robyn. The tension in the household is palpable. Kody, usually the unchallenged decision maker, now finds himself reacting to Meri's carefully planned steps. Robyn, who has often played the role of mediator and enforcer, is reportedly frustrated by Meri's assertiveness, recognizing that the old dynamics are no longer sufficient to maintain control. As the week progresses, it becomes clear that Meri's strategy isn't just about winning a single dispute, it's about establishing a precedent for accountability. Her action sends a strong message to the rest of the wives and to Cody. The status quo will no longer go unchallenged. Just when it looked like tension couldn't climb any higher, a bombshell revelation shakes the household to its foundations. Insiders report Meri has discovered a secret financial revelation that Kody and Robyn had hoped would stay buried. The details are staggering, an unreported transaction that could have serious implications for both the family and their public image. Meri's discovery isn't just about money, it's about transparency, accountability, and exposing patterns of behavior that had long gone unchecked. Friends close to Meri describe her as both determined and meticulous, combing through documents, bank statements, and legal filings to ensure every detail is accurate. She is aware that one wrong move can negate her credibility, so she goes on a fact-finding mission. Nothing is skipped in her investigation. The news itself becomes a topic of discussion within the family. Kody, normally calm and authoritative, is taken aback. There is palpable tension in his body language for the first time. Robyn, normally the one who helps hold everything together, flails in response. Observers note that the couple's usual strategies, minimizing issues and deflecting blame, fall short in the face of Meri's clear evidence-backed approach. Inside the household, the atmosphere grows tense. Conversations that were once casual turn cautious. Every interaction is now loaded with implications as the wives and children begin to process the new information. Meri's actions have fundamentally shifted the family dynamic. Social media quickly seizes on the revelation. Pundits and fans alike speculate about possible repercussions. Some commend Meri for her bravery, while others wonder how this might affect the family's public image and Kody's leadership. The story is no longer simply about conflicts between wives, it is now one of responsibility and the fallout of secretive behavior. Legal analysts who are watching the situation say that if the secrecy were to be legally reviewed, it could have serious consequences. While Meri's goal is not necessarily to escalate to legal action, she is clearly positioning herself as someone who refuses to ignore wrongdoing. This revelation doesn't just affect Kody and Robyn, it sends a message to the entire household. It's a statement that manipulation, secrecy, or unilateral decision-making can no longer be tolerated. Meri's careful strategy and bold actions have fundamentally altered the rules of engagement. As news of Meri's discovery spreads, the tension between Kody and Robyn escalates. For the first time in years, the couple faces a challenge that isn't easily deflected or dismissed. Kody's attempts at control are met with resistance, and Robyn's usual calming influence seems to falter under the pressure. Behind closed doors, discussions are heated. Sources indicate that Kody is frustrated not only by Meri's actions, but also by the potential damage to the family's reputation. Robyn, while loyal to Kody, struggles with the growing realization that the truth may no longer be containable. The dynamic between them begins to shift. Uncertainty and defensiveness replace their usual calculated confidence. Meanwhile, Meri's strategic approach starts to influence other members of the family. Some of the wives, previously hesitant to challenge Kody or Robyn, begin quietly acknowledging Meri's perspective. Janelle and Christine, in particular, are rumored to be reassessing their own positions, sensing an opportunity to assert more influence in household decisions. Outside the household, social media commentary explodes. Fans dissect every interaction, analyzing body language, statements, and leaked updates. Hashtags trend, debates ignite, and speculations about potential fallout dominate online discussions. The fascination of the public grows, building the pressure on Robyn and Kody to react appropriately. Though tension is palpable, Meri is calm. She is hesitant to present her findings in a sensational way, but makes sure that she lets her voice be heard. Her actions say one thing loud and clear: she will no longer stand for decisions being made behind doors without answerability. Analysts who watch the scene unfold say that this is a milestone. Household dynamics are in flux. Relationships are being challenged, and Kody's leadership are seeing unprecedented challenge. The ripple effects of Meri's discovery will likely be felt for months, if not years. As the drama continues to unfold, it becomes clear that the family is entering a new chapter, one in which transparency, truth, and accountability could redefine relationships entirely. The tension reaches its peak as Meri calls a formal family meeting, confronting Kody and Robyn with the evidence she has uncovered. Cameras roll, and tension hangs in the air. Every member of the family is paying close attention, knowing that what happens in this instant may have a lasting impact on their relationships. Meri explains gently but firmly, laying out her evidence methodically. She points out inconsistencies, money discrepancies, and behavioral patterns that Kody and Robyn had carefully attempted to hide. The room is silent, every eye fixed on the unfolding confrontation. Kody attempts to defend his actions, but his usual charisma and confidence falter under Meri's relentless logic. Robyn, equally caught off guard, struggles to maintain composure as the evidence continues to mount. What was once a household hierarchy dominated by Kody's control now feels fragile, shaken by Meri's courage and determination. The other wives, emboldened by Meri's stance, begin to voice their concerns. Christine and Janelle bring up their own experiences, validating Meri's claims and further undermining Kody and Robyn's position. This united front surprises everyone, revealing cracks in the previously unshakable alliance between Kody and Robyn. Outside the home, social media erupts. Fans praise Meri for her bravery, sharing clips, reactions, and commentary. Hashtags trend worldwide, making it clear that the drama is no longer confined to the family. It has captured the attention of a global audience. Public pressure adds another layer of accountability, amplifying the stakes. By the end of the meeting, the power dynamic has shifted dramatically. Kody and Robyn are made to confront the effect their decisions have, as Meri and the other wives take on a new sense of independence. Decisions which were previously taken unilaterally must now be taken in concert, in an atmosphere of transparency and trust. The episode ends on a contemplative note. Meri stands firm, having upturned convention, as Kody and Robyn face the fact of their broken influence. The family, still complicated, starts a journey toward a new equilibrium, one forged by honesty, courage, and responsibility. This is a turning point in Sister Wives history, as it shows that even the most deeply rooted dynamics can be upset when someone decides to speak up for truth.